Look, Hasbro, I'm perfectly fine with you rebooting Power Rangers, but I will give up all the Krispy Kreme donuts in my life just to get a sequel to the 2017 Power Rangers. Why you gotta do them dirty? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on an episode of Side Flick. My name is Chris. We got a wide variety of movie news topics to dive into today. There's gotta be at least one movie news story in here that gets you pumped up. Some of the stuff we're gonna be talking about today is, yes, an update on the whole Power Rangers reboot and what's going on there, as well as an update on this dark and gritty version of a live-action Barney movie we're getting. And of course, because the Batman is still currently filming, some more set photos and footage to get us pumped up. Finally, a look at the Batmobile. That along with so much more, guys. So many of your opinions down below on everything we discuss here today. You movie fans who watch these videos and comment down below are the real MVPs here, because we don't be doing no bad stuff like having side chicks. Instead, we got our side flick. So don't be forgetting to hit that like button if you're enjoying all the movie news, and subscribe if you haven't already, man. I know some of you haven't, and I'm watching you. Alright, getting to the first movie news story here. Let's start off nice and family friendly. We have here a new live action movie headed to Disney Plus. You know what I'm kind of excited about? We have here the Dis Insider, who's been very reliable when it comes to Disney movie related news. They're going ahead and reporting that Disney is moving forward with a live action Chip and Dale Rescue Ranger movie that will premiere exclusively for Disney Plus. You know what? How can I do this without having... Oh, give me a second.
A few moments later.
I got Chip and Dale in Funko Pop form, y'all. Yeah, read them and weep, suckers. Growing up, some of you might have seen the cartoon animated series of Chip and Dale. Basically, it's centered around these two guys going ahead and solving a bunch of mysteries, Sherlock Holmes style. The plot details that we have right now for this live action version go as, plot details are being kept under wraps, but it will not be an origin story nor detective agency story. Rather, the take is being described as being meta, something self-referential and cool. The film will be written by How I Met Your Mother duo Dan George and Doug Mann, Barry Schwartz, who wrote previous drafts of the script. So that's kind of interesting for this Chip and Dale, because they've been known to be part of this rescue team. Instead, they're going with a whole new idea where it's self-referential, it's also meta. I do like the attachment that this is being produced by people involved with The Lonely Island. I mean, the director of this movie is the same guy who brought us Hot Rod and Popstar Never Stop Never Stopping, two movies that I actually find absolutely hilarious. So my excitement level for this Chip and Dale movie is really high. The only hesitation I have towards this movie is the last time we got furry little creatures the size of Chip and Dale live action form. I don't even want to think about it. But you guys hear about Chip and Dale getting the live action treatment. Are you excited for this to be on Disney Plus? This is some of the content that's going to be headed our way. Are you excited with this kind of stuff they're doing on the platform? Or could you do with something else? They got Lilo and Stitch coming on there also, live action. Moving on from there to my anime fans, you might have heard that Sony Pictures is hard at work at a live action treatment for the anime series One Punch Man. And... I am so not prepared for today's side flick.
A few moments later.
I also got Saitama from One Punch Man in pop form. All the girls who rejected me in high school are jealous today. But the latest update we have here concerning this live-action One Punch Man movie, it seems that we have found Sony's frontrunner to play the titular character One Punch Man. Being reported by Daniel Richmond, they have it here that Henry Golding, who is the star of Crazy Rich Asians, is being looked at to play the character of Saitama in the live-action One Punch Man movie. I thought it was so funny when this movie was first announced. I had an overwhelming amount of comments saying, get The Rock to play One Punch Man, just because that's a dude who's already bald and looks good bald. Like, don't you know nothing about Hollywood? As far as Henry Golding goes to play the character Saitama, I think it's perfectly suited to play him. I honestly see him as a very handsome young man, but I just don't think he'll be that handsome once he goes completely bald. I think this is going to be one of those anime properties also that is going to do really well in live action form, just because the story is pretty short. There's only so many seasons and episodes, as opposed to something like Dragon Ball Z that I would love to get a live action treatment done again the right way. Dragon Ball Evolution never happened. But with the One Punch Man story, I think it could be condensed down to a 2-hour movie and be really entertaining for audiences. So with these reports of who they want to be the live action One Punch Man, do you like Henry Golding to play Saitama, or do you think they could get someone better out there? But okay, getting to some pretty big news that dropped just the other night, we have here an update on the live action Power Rangers reboot that we are set to get in the near future. And this update is pretty huge because it's letting us know how serious Hasbro is about this new iteration of Power Rangers, that they're willing to go all out. They have it here from the Hollywood Reporter, Power Rangers getting film and TV treatment from Not Okay with This co-creator. And I know a lot of you people are already going, but isn't there like already so many Power Rangers TV shows currently going on? Well, that is true from the looks of these details. details, this is a whole different approach. This new guy that they've hired, Jonathan Entwistle, will actually be directing multiple films and TV shows for whatever the Power Rangers future is. Going further into details, this is what they had to say on it. This is an unbelievable opportunity to deliver new Power Rangers to both new and existing generations of awaiting and adoring fans. We'll bring the spirit of analog into the future, harnessing the action and storytelling that made this brand a success. If you guys didn't know what's going on with this Power Rangers reboot movie, from what we've heard so far is that the new film that they're planning to make will be a time travel story, in where we'll have a modern day group of Power Rangers who travel back in time to the 90s, which was the popular era where we got our first hint of Power Rangers back in the 90s, and having some sort of adventure there. Now what it seems to be like is we're getting that along with multiple sequels to that franchise, but then on the other side of that, we'll have a TV series that actually connects to those movies, as opposed to having a bunch of different Power Rangers TV shows that don't really connect other than big major crossover events. And this again is just one of those future events currently going on in Hollywood where we'll have both movies and TV shows that interconnect very heavily, and Power Rangers is wanting to take the next step. I mean, my best guess is the movie universe, after they do this whole time travel crossover in the first film, the sequel will then focus back on the modern day Power Rangers having some sort of adventure, and the TV series that this guy is also going to be directing could be set in the 90s world that we'll visit in the first reboot for this Power Rangers film. I really just hope this could be a situation like we've talked about since the multiverse is becoming another cultural shock event in Hollywood. Maybe there is a future where we could see the 2017 Power Rangers come back to the big screen. But you guys hear about this, Power Rangers getting both movies and TV shows that are interconnected. How do you feel about it? Moving on from there to news that might still be WTF to some people out there. If you didn't know, there is a live-action Barney movie in the works from actor Daniel Kaluuya, who is most notably known from being the star of Get Out. We heard about this months ago. Heck, I even did its own separate video on the situation. But ever since then, we didn't really have any other details other than the fact that they were trying to tell a more mature story. It would still definitely be family-friendly, but now hearing these new details, man, they are trying to pull some heartstrings. When Daniel Kaluuya was asked about the new movie, this is what he had to say. Barney taught us, I love you, you love me, won't you say you love me too? That's one of the first songs I remember, and what happens when that isn't true? I thought that was really heartbreaking. I have no idea why, but it feels like it makes sense. It feels like there's something unexpected that can be poignant but optimistic, especially at this time now. I think there's really a need. And how does hearing about this new live-action Barney movie not make you think, Kaluuya, who hurt you, man? Who hurt you? Again, it's just one of those trends in Hollywood where we have to take characters that were family friendly, that were very lovable and kind to us, and somehow just bring all our depression onto them years later. Some people still get confused and they really think they're about to give us an R-rated Barney movie, or a Barney movie made specifically for adults. And while it sounds like this film will have dark themes to it and will be a little depressing, it's still a family friendly movie to the fullest. You'll be able to take your kids with it, but I think you can expect to shed some tears here or see a really sad Barney. I'm just curious what Barney's gonna look like. Are they gonna put him in that styrofoam suit, or are they gonna make him CGI live action? Like, that's actually the real thing I wonder about. What is this Barney character gonna be looking like in live action form? But I want to hear from you guys. You hear more details about this live action Barney movie and how dark and depressing it's gonna be. Are you still going to be able to watch it, or do you think they should have gone a different route? Getting to some more Batman news here, we have here just a continuous amount of set photos and set videos being brought on from the set of the Batman. And some of the latest round of photos that have made its way online just really show us how big this world is that Matt Reeves is creating. You guys can check out some of the Batman videos I've done in the past. Like, there's hints to the Joker and his Joker toxin being sold throughout Gotham City as a sort of drug. Even a spotting of someone in a Superman costume, giving us a hint that there's a bigger universe out there. But today, one of the things that fascinated me is that fans have spotted a Mr. Freeze Easter egg for the Batman universe with Matt Reeves and Robert Pattinson. The picture in question here is from the set of Chicago, where they're turning a certain street over there into the city of Gotham, sort of the poor section of Gotham. And one of the flyers in particular hanging up not only shows us the Flash symbol, giving us another Justice League member that is possibly out there, but the words "Destroy Goth Corp." Now that might seem like nothing right there, but the company Goth Corp is around reference to the company that ultimately led Victor Freeze to earn his powers as Mr. Freeze. The company in question is where he was studying to try and fix the disease that was hurting his wife that led him down the path of madness. And there's a couple of things we gotta clear up here as Batman fans, because while this is amazing that we're seeing all these set photos and hints to a bigger world, I think that's all it really is just hints to a bigger world. Because like I talked about in the previous video where we got to see Superman on the set of the Batman, where it was just an extra dressed in the Superman costume because there seems to be some sort of Halloween party scene going on. There was even later photos of someone in a Wonder Woman costume, so again, that's another character out there. Even if that confirms that those characters exist in superhero form, I think that really is just a hint that they exist out there, but it doesn't necessarily mean we are going to be seeing those actual heroes in the movies, but instead maybe just seeing them in the background. We've heard reports that Matt Reeves is taking sort of an animated series approach to his Gotham, where all the villains that are in Batman's Rogue Gallery do actually already exist in Gotham, and it'll just be the countless sequels on which of these villains we actually focus on and which of these will just remain in the background. This right here is just really smart world building, letting us know that there is more to this Batman universe than we thought possible, but it doesn't necessarily mean we are going to see Mr. Freeze, we are going to see Poison Ivy, but heck, with everything we've been seeing so far, I would love a serious and dark version of Mr. Freeze in the Batman sequel. Along with that, it was also awesome to finally see the Batmobile in action, even if it was just in a really short clip where we just see the Batmobile zoom by. I'm curious to what kind of action set pieces we'll see with that Batmobile and what kind of gadgets will be coming out of it. But you guys see these set photos and these set videos from the set of the Batman. Do you think it'll lead to something bigger, or it's all just world building and letting you know these people are out there, but you just might not see them? Something else that just popped up last night, not only are we getting Fast and Furious 9 come next year, but we are also set to get Fast and Furious 10 and 11, and they will also be the finales of the Fast and Furious franchise. This is being reported by Deadline here, and they have it said that Fast and Furious is coming to an end with the final two films set to be directed by Justin Lin, who brought us the majority of the Fast and Furious movies in the franchise. He did the worst one, Tokyo Drift, and the best one, Fast 5. And if you watch my channel, you know I'm a fan of the Fast and Furious franchise. I really get into it. I know they're not the best movies, but I think they're just so entertaining on a different level that it doesn't matter how crazy and insane they get. But it's just wild to think that in the 9th movie, they have confirmed that they're gonna go to space. So like, what the heck are they gonna do for 10 and 11 that are so bonkers crazy that it'll end the franchise? Even then, I have my doubts that it'll seriously end, because if those two last movies make billions of dollars like all the rest have so far, they're gonna keep making more. And if not, we got Hobbs and Shaw and probably 10 other spin-offs they can make. So with this info here of Fast and Furious 10 and 11 being confirmed, what are your guys' theories on how they could end this franchise with a bang? But that is just all the movie news we currently have going on right now, guys. I want to hear your opinions down below on everything we discussed here today. What news got you interested? What could you care less about? Don't forget to hit that like button if you're enjoying all the movie news content. Subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me on Twitter at 3C Film Review. As always, I'm Chris. Take care.